and good afternoon to the team at the Singapore Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry and to all of our audience here today. Welcome, and on behalf of FedEx Singapore, we would like to thank you and SCCCI for the opportunity to participate in this webinar to share insights and solutions on what FedEx can do for your business in the uncertainty of Brexit. So to begin, I would like to give you a quick overview of FedEx globally, and we'll dive right into what we know about Brexit. And finally, my colleague Raymond Kwan will go into the details of FedEx logistical solutions that will help you prepare and face Brexit. Now, globally, we employ over 250,000 people, and our network consists of 679 aircraft that operate in over 650 airports around the world. So our ground team is made up of 75,000 motorized vehicles and a host of road networks across several continents. On average, we move more than 6 million shipments that weigh over 28 million pounds every day across the world. Now, in Europe, we are the world's largest cargo airline with one of the fastest road and air networks in the region. For the last 40 years, we have been connecting customers in Europe to the world with our extensive network that spans throughout the continent. Now, in the UK alone, we move an average of 492,000 packages domestically every day. What's more is that we connect the UK to the European Union and the rest of the world with over 35,000 international packages daily. This is, of course, supported by massive infrastructure that consists of motorized vehicles, planes, and courier stations. In just 1 to 3 business days, we provide fast and safe delivery to more than 220 countries and territories. We deliver possibilities by connecting markets that comprise more than 99% of the world's GDP. We support customers that range from startups all the way to MNCs across multiple industries, and we are proud to be one of the many pillars that has supported the growth of the e-commerce industry. Offering customers a full door-to-door customs cleared day and time-definite services means that we connect UK businesses to customers as early as 8:30 in the morning in the US and by 9 a.m. to major cities across Europe. Now, to summarize my introduction, FedEx has been in this business for a long time, having invested in the hardware, systems, and our employees to ensure that we are fully capable to connect our businesses at every stage of their growth. So let's get to the crux of the topic today. Brexit. What's going on? I'm certain that we are not the only ones asking that question, but more importantly, what is the situation right now and where it could be heading this year as well as the years ahead. Today, I'll be sharing 3 key areas that I hope we will be able to provide you with more clarity on the situation. Firstly, Brexit as it is right now. Secondly, its impact on trade and how will it affect the way business is conducted. And last but not least, how to assess if your business is ready to handle the changes that Brexit brings. Going to the next slide. So when the UK held a referendum in June 2016 that voted in favor of the UK leaving the EU, the British government led by Prime Minister Theresa May formally notified the EU in March 2017 of the country's intention to withdraw. Now, this marked the start of the Brexit process. Now, after much political upheaval from 2017 to 2019, the British Parliament ratified the withdrawal agreement, and the UK left the EU on January 2020 and entered a transitional period that ended in 31st December 2020. It was then in 2020 that we were preparing for two fairly straightforward but complex outcomes, a deal or no deal scenario. Now, a deal scenario would see the UK operated under new trading terms with the EU and the rest of the world, whereas a no-deal scenario would have had the UK trading on the World Trade Organization terms. Goods will be subject to customs clearance and inspections, while tariffs are expected to be imposed on goods that the UK sends to EU countries and vice versa. Thankfully, as of December, the UK and EU reached a deal. However, many experts have described the deal as extensive and requiring to read the fine print. That said, trade is our business here in FedEx, and we were well prepared to take on the future of global trade, whatever changes that it may hold. Systems to support any outcome have been built and will be updated as the situation unfolds. As with all things, we are dedicated to help you plan ahead. So one certainty is that moving forward, the UK will also apply its own tariffs to all goods entering Great Britain, and the EU's common external tariff will be replaced by the UK global tariff. All imported goods, with the exception of the following, will be subjected to the UK global tariff, and these are: first, developing countries that is part of the generalized scheme of preference. Second, goods imported from a country that has a trade agreement with the UK. And third, goods imported that have a relief or tariff suspension that's operated by the UK. Now, Singapore falls under the second category, that is goods imported from a country that has a trade agreement with the UK, because we have renewed a trade agreement with the UK, which I'll explain later. Now, the decision to leave the single market and customs union means that customs formalities will apply to all Great Britain to EU shipments as of 1st January 2021. So in short, if you are selling goods or buying goods from the EU, there will be new processes such as declarations at customs, tariffs, duties, and VAT payments, compliances with other applicable types of shipments. However, Singapore had signed a Singapore-UK Free Trade Agreement on 10th December last year. So the deal mirrors an existing deal between Singapore and the EU and will cover a trade relationship that is worth more than $22 billion or 17 billion pounds. So it removes tariffs on services for both countries. So if you are either importing or exporting or both, be sure to check where and what tariffs apply. So it will also cut non-tariff barriers for a number of industries such as electronics, cars, pharmaceutical products, and medical devices. Now, the UK is Singapore's third and second largest trading partner for goods and services, respectively, as well as its top investment destination in Europe. Singapore, in turn, is the UK's largest trade and investment partner in Southeast Asia. Now, the duties will end in November 2024, which is the same timeline as the pact between the EU and Singapore. To learn more in detail, if the tariff applies to your business, be sure to speak to us at FedEx or stay tuned to our Brexit information hub on our website. So, what have we done to be Brexit ready? And more importantly, how can we help businesses become Brexit proof? So, as with all timings in global trade, our preparations have been in progress and adaptable to any subtle changes in policy. However, we have focused on these 6 key areas we believe would cover all aspects of our business. Number 1, air network compliance. With our network operating across Europe, we have put plans in place to ensure compliance to the expected new aviation rules. 2, the road network schedule. So in efforts to mitigate the risk from potential delays due to the congestion at the UK-EU border, we have developed plans and have also worked with the ports, ferry operators, and Eurotunnel to align on any new requirements for the new border process. More importantly, number 3, clearance capability. We have invested and we are ready for the export and import clearance required. 4, not forgetting customer support. A dedicated team has been prepared to support customers throughout the change prior and post 31st December 2020. From checking the correct paperwork to any questions that you may have, it is important that you speak to us so that we can help you. Number 5, system configuration. We have optimized our end-to-end process and laid the required groundwork for our customer-facing solutions and internal systems to meet any potential system changes and configuration to support the import and export clearance requirements. And last but not least, we have always ensured that we support our employees. As a major employer in the UK and EU, employee assistance is crucial to ensure that our teams have the information and knowledge to complete the right to work applications. With that, I have come to the end of my portion of the presentation. I would like to thank you for your time and attention, and will now pass the time back to Tiffany to introduce Raymond for the next section of the presentation. So Tiffany, over to you.
Thank you, Audrey. Thank you so much for the presentation. Now, let us welcome our second speaker for today. We have with us Mr. Raymond Kwan, Customer Solutions Specialist, Senior Quality Compliance and Global Trade Services of Federal Express. Now, he'll be sharing more about how to prepare your business for Brexit and the type of business support available for cross-border shipping needs today and in the future. So over to you, Raymond.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Raymond Kwan. This is my honor to represent FedEx Trade Service to share the clearance checklist and the import regulations for Brexit with you today. My team is one of the function groups that handle the global trade compliance issues and the regulatory updates. I hope that the following information will help you to save more time, money, and headaches from your shipping process. Okay, let's move on to the point number 1 from the checklist of how to equip your business for Brexit. Okay, the point number 1 is learning what the application trade agreements could mean for your business. Okay, as we all know that Singapore and UK has signed a free trade agreement, and this is already implemented from the beginning of this year. But please bear in mind that not every shipment export from Singapore can enjoy the FTA with the UK. It only applies to the goods that were made in the agreement's country can enjoy the free trade benefits. For example, a Singapore to UK shipments contain 3 items were made from different countries. So only the Singapore-made products can claim for the FTA, and the rest of the items are still dutiable. And this is what it means by trade under the WTO rules if you don't have a trade agreement with the UK. Okay, and you should learn more about the trade agreements if you are exporting Singapore goods to UK. Okay, because of that reason. Okay, if your goods is qualified for the FTA, then you may need to obtain an FTA certificate of origin to claim for the FTA. Okay, so move on to the next page. Okay, this point here, point 2 is a UK EORI number. What is the EORI number? The full terms of this acronym is Economic Operation Registration and Identification Number, okay, which is an ID number or tax ID number. Okay, what is this EORI numbers for? or this is used for statistical and security purposes. Okay, so the government, they can keep track on you and who is shipping shipments, what are they shipping, where are they shipping it to you, okay, or where are they coming from. Okay, this information can be shared among the government agency, again, for the statistical and security purposes. Then why we need the EORI? Okay, because we need that number, to process the custom entry declaration and clearance for both import and export shipment to or from EU or to the non-EU countries. That means you need that tax ID number for shipment, for any trading. Okay, another use of the EORI number is that if the UK importer, or your customer, want FedEx to handle the postponed VAT account for their shipment, the importer needs to grant us, or they can grant us the consent with an EOR number for us to do so. Okay, so please share that with the customers, and we have that option for them. Okay, but however, no EORI is required for shipments below 135 pounds because there's no individual import declaration for the UK in this case. Okay, so we highly recommend everyone to register an EORI number as soon as possible, so you can click on the link on this slide for more information. Okay, let's move on to point number 3, so called Inco Terms. You see all the information on this slide, where the goods will deliver, who arrange and pay for the shipments, and who is responsible for the insurance, and who handle the custom procedures. But besides that, I would like to drill down a little bit onto the Inco Terms itself. There are 11 Inco Terms in 3 alphabetical letters, acronyms format. For example, FOB. The terms of FOB, or the full term of FOB, is like free on board, meaning that the bare cost of the product without duty, tax, or freight charge. For example, if you import something to the US custom, they only using the FOB price of the shipments to do the assessment. Okay, so, and second example I want to give out is a DDP, deliver duty paid. Okay, that means the consignee knows that the duty and tax is already covered by the sender. Okay, example, if you're sending some shipment to some country, just say US, okay, and it's a DDP, but you know that US only using FOB. If you don't provide the value breakdown on the invoice, the US government, they will using the whole lump sum to assess the duty. That means you have to pay more money or more duty than you have to. Okay, so you want to avoid that. The third example, or the last example I want to show you guys is the CIF, which means the cost, insurance, and freight. That means the shipment value is already included cost, insurance, and freight. Okay, such as, that Singapore GST exemptions only applies to shipment less than 400 Sing, the CIF value. Okay, so that means if you're using incorrect terms, if you're sending something, okay, you're sending 380 Sing, and you thought that actually that's an FOB price. Okay, but after you're adding on to the insurance and freight charge, it may already exceed the limitation of 400 Sing. Because after that, you have to pay full term of the amount of the shipments. Okay, for the GST. Okay, in that case, you may have to deal with a duty dispute. So, besides the meaning of the Inco terms, I think that we have to be aware of that as well. Okay, so let me move on to point number 4. Know your description and classify your goods. Okay, and you see that here, these 4 elements will affect the entry type and also how much import duty and tax you need to pay. Okay, another thing I want to mention is like classify means that to translate the description into HS code. HS code also determine the duty and tax and also some import requirements. Okay, so for the harmonized code itself, I know that a lot of shipments, they come in, with a description and harmonized codes right next to it. From my experience, the harmonized code is only for reference only. Why? I think I can raise out a couple of reasons. First, A lot of countries, they're using a different digits of the HS code. Like, for example, Hong Kong using 8 digits, US using 10. So if you're using the Hong Kong HS code to the US, to import to the US, the shipment is not enough. It's not sufficient. So they cannot use that to classify. And that's why they will not allow you to just provide the HS code instead of the full description of the shipment. Second of all, because of the tariff schedule, they always change. Some country, they may change frequently, 2 or 3 times a year. Okay, some country may not change. But because they change, whatever you use the HS code about 3 months ago may not be correct, okay, for the updated version. So that's why I'm saying that I use it for the reference only, okay? So the description, again, that's why the accurate description is so important for the entry process, okay? So please do not use sample, electronic parts, and all that, because it is too vague, okay? Please provide us specific information, okay? Like I'm using water bottle, for example. Water bottle can be plastic, it can be glass, it can be metal, it can be wood, okay? So all the material I just mentioned, they fall under the different chapter of the HS code, or I should say the harmonized tariff, okay? Like plastic will fall under chapter 39, glass, which fall under chapter 70, metal, that depends, iron, steel, whatever metal they are, they will fall under 72, 73, or even 74. Wood, maybe like 42. So please beware, different HS code means that it will have a different duty rate, VAT, and the special import requirements. Okay, and the other stuff, the other topic here is like, origin of goods. It can make a big difference. Okay, like I'm using the FTA, the free trade agreement in Singapore with UK again. Okay, only Singapore products can claim for the FTA with the UK. Okay, so if you put down Hong Kong, that means Hong Kong do not have that privileges. Okay, that's why we need to make sure you address it to the correct origin information. Okay, and the last items here on this slide is like the value of goods. Okay, because most of the entry type and duty assessment are determined by the value. Okay, for example, like a US, they have 3 entry types. One, anything below 800. No, you don't need to go through, the actual clearance. Okay, can be released. We call it section 321. From 800 to 2,500, that will be informal entry. And 2,500 and up is the formal entry. That's how they differentiate it, by the value. Okay, and because of and also they have a special fee on, onto the formal entry as well. Okay, and again, Singapore, the GST. Okay, if anything about 400 Sing per shipment, it will require to pay the 7% of a GST. Okay, so that's why all this information is really important. It will have an impact to your total payment of your, of the import levy for you. Okay, so I will move on to next slide. Okay, know how to complete a commercial invoice. Commercial invoice is a mandatory requirement for any international shipments. Okay, provide the correct information on the invoice, it will expedite the clearance process and reduce any duty dispute. Like I just mentioned, some of the key, elements from both AWB and the invoice. Okay, so let me move on to point number 6. Submit your commercial electronically. Okay, we highly recommend you to utilize our electronic tools for your shipping document. It will make it a lot easier for your shipping process. It will save your time, redundant work for inputting the same information. This system to enable you to capture the information of all the shipping parties, and also you can compile your own database of your commodities. Okay, so you can also put all our information onto it. Okay, so please check it out, and please go to FedEx.com website and check this out, and FSM. Okay, and I'm sure that will be benefit for you. Okay, on the point number 7, understand the custom clearance requirement. Okay, after the Brexit, UK makes some changes to the VAT scheme. Okay, they also modified duty and tax, the VAT rate a little bit. Okay, but the tariff schedule is ready on the UK government. Please go check it out. Okay, and also I think that they simplify the duty and also the VAT, and they will not have any in between duty. What I mean is, like, they make it like a 5, 10, 15, 20% of the duty rate. Okay, instead of before they have 7.5 or 6.8 or something like that. Okay, so please go check it out. Okay, and please visit our FedEx website if you want to find out the regulation for your products. Okay, and please let us know what we can do for you. Okay, so I'll move on to the next slide. Okay, thank you. Okay, the point number 8. Make sure that your customer, your importer know the potential change. Okay, here are a few change on the UK import VAT after the VAT scheme after the Brexit. Okay, first, so low value consignment relief, which means that the de minimis value threshold before the EU is a 22 euro or 15 pounds. Okay, it will be removed already. I should say that present tense, removed, already removed. Okay, from 0 to 130 pounds is subject to VAT. Okay, but there's no duty for shipments under 135 pounds. Okay, and I think that the second point here is, like, I think the key, the change we have to pay attention to for all shippers. The shipper required to register VAT number with the UK government for shipping value lower than 135 pounds. Okay, so that we may need to look into it. Okay, and the third point is that the postponed VAT accounting is available for shipment value higher than 135 pounds. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, this will benefit to the UK importers, and also they're related, to the point number 9 here. Okay, because they, UK government offer this postponed VAT accounting, is that they can defer the VAT payment. So I mean, they do not need to pay at the port of import, at the time of import, I'm sorry. And then they also mean that you may have more room, to negotiate the payment, with your customers. Okay, so please share this information with your UK customers and let them know that, they can authorize FedEx and TNT to clear import into UK using the postponed VAT accounting, or called PVA. Okay, just let us know, and they want to do that. All they need to provide is the company details and also the EORI number, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, so let me move on to number 10. Okay, just please contact your sales executive and let us know if you have any plan to ship to UK and how we can help support you. All right, so let me move on to the next slide. Okay, how can FedEx help you to build and secure your business from UK after the Brexit? Let's start with the basic requirements and the tools that we have can assist your business. Well, let me start with the logistic flow, so you will have a better understanding how the electronic shipping documents flow and also the physical package flow. Okay, when you prepare your shipping documents, through our system, the FedEx Ship Manager, FSM, so we know that where the package is going. Okay, so all the information you put it on to the airway bill, it will be used for the air cargo manifest. Okay, air cargo manifest is a really important piece of documents because this is a mandatory requirement for the carrier to submit the manifest to the origin government before it takes off for exportation and to the destination authority a few hours before the plane landed or touched down for importation. Okay, so that's why we need to get all the information beforehand. And for you to using our electronic tools to do that, that will give both the carrier and you have a great benefit. Okay, so while your physical package is on its way to the destination, simultaneously your shipment information will send it, and on the electronic paperwork is transmitted to the destination for advanced declaration and pre-clearance process. Okay. Then your shipment can be cleared and released even before the shipment arrives. Okay. This has given us a niche, give us more time to deal with the shipments. So we can do all the clearance, even before the plane, arrive on the destination. Okay, that's the main goal of it. Okay. So, okay, let me move on to the next slide. Okay. This slide, we talk about, ensure the accurate information for the documents to manage a smooth clearance. Yep, the key to ensure smooth clearance is providing complete and accurate information. Okay, you need to prepare an airway bill and a commercial invoice each time when you ship a non-dock packages. Non-dock packages, because document packages do not require commercial invoice. That's why we're using dock and non-dock to differentiate the difference of the packages. Okay, so on the airway bill, you need to provide this following information. The full company name. Why? Because the importer record would depend on it. Because company may have a different entity with a different UEN number, or I should call it a tax number. Okay, we cannot deliver the shipment if the tax number and the company name and the address does not match. Another example, just say Apple. Apple have R&D department, they have engineering department, they have a marketing department. They are all in the same building. Okay, but if you did not provide the full name of the company, we cannot deliver the package for you. Okay, that's why this is really important that you put the full name, complete name of the company. Okay, for us to deliver. And the second point here is like, I just mentioned about the address, but I want to emphasize on the contact number here. Okay, so we will like you to provide both shipper and consignee's phone number onto the airway bill, because we will contact the shipping party for pickup and to confirm the pickup and delivery. Okay, so we also can use the contact number to engage in the residential customers with our new system. I should put it this way. We have a new program out, and all we need to do is that we can send the customer the SMS or message or some phone apps. So we can ask them, we can offer them the options, okay, where and when they want the shipment, where and when to receive their shipments. Okay, so this is one of our new program here, FedEx Delivery Manager International. Okay, so this one also you can check out on the FedEx.com website to learn more about it. Okay, in a brief description onto the airway bill. Okay, the whole purpose is you letting the destination, custom, and the broker know what kind of commodity is coming in. Okay, so they can do address it accordingly. Okay, I know that there's not enough space. Sometimes there's not enough space, on the airway bill. So I suggest you to list out the main items or the most expensive one onto the description area, and then list out the total value of the whole shipment onto the airway bill. Okay, so that means the destination country, they know how much the shipment will be and what kind of commodities, so they can address it accordingly. Okay, so and also the value of shipment, the same. I mentioned it before, because the value they can change the entry type, and also and then they will trigger the import levy by certain type. Okay, 135 pounds for the VAT change in the UK, and also again Singapore 7% GTS on the $400 thing. Okay, so this all this. Okay, that's why we need to address the value correctly onto the airway bill. Okay, and the last item for the airway bill here is the weight. Okay, some people, I think some people may ask, what's the weight for? The weight, besides the freight charge, is that the rate, also the weight is the destination authorities, they use it for security and the risk management. For example, if I say there's a shipment less than 1 pound and it worth about $1,500 US, then you may think that, what is that? Why so expensive? If I tell you that, there's diamond ring, okay, that makes sense. Then it's okay. But if I tell you that there's a pair of shoes, then customer they may want to open the package and look at it. What kind of shoes that cost that much money? Do they have any jewelry on it or what? So that's why, I just want to throw in an example for you to have a better understanding about the weight of the shipment. Okay, so please bear in mind that the information from the airway bill, they must be matched with the info, with the one in the commercial invoice. Okay, so the harmonized code, okay, like I mentioned it, I already go through it. It's a reference only, and the description of goods. Okay, and I just want to give one more example, let you understand that why the description of good is so important. Okay, because just say that I'm importing a hair remover. Okay, so what is if I put down hair remover on the description, you may ask, what is that? Is it a roll of tape? Is it a razor blade? Is it a wax? A cream? Maybe a laser unit? Okay, so each one will fall under different HS code, and they may require different local authority to look into it. Okay, it may involve with the health department there, and it may involve with some of the other agency. They will look into it, the laser unit. So this is why we need to be really specific. Okay, for the shipments, enable us to classify correctly and to help you to assess the correct duty as well. Okay, so thing that I already go through the origin of goods, okay, and also the value of goods, and I already explained it on to the LAB sections. Okay, so let's move on to the other slide. Okay, understanding regulatory requirements. Well, this is really important. They will help you to prevent unnecessary delay. For instance, the importer and exporter need to activate the UEN, okay, through the Singapore Customs website. Otherwise, the shipment will not be approved by Customs. Many people mistaking that the UEN is automatically will activate it when one applies to it. But no, recently Singapore Customs, they had issued a notice to remind all the traders to activate the UEN number in order to, to import or export. Okay, so on this list, okay, here are the URLs for Singapore Regulatory Agency and the very competent, authorities. Again, and please get a copy of this presentation so you can have all this URL as for your reference. Okay, I would like to move to the next page. Okay. All import and export transshipments must cover by relevant permits. If the goods are subject to control by relevant competent agency or competent authorities, called CA now, okay, you are required to submit a permit application. Okay, here's a list here of the common items they may they need to present to different competent authorities. For example, if you're importing health supplement or a medical device, your shipment required cleared by HSA, the Health Science Authority. The laser hair remover I just using require clearance by National Environmental Agency, the NEA. Okay, or you are importing processed food or the food appliance, clearance from the SFA, the Singapore Food Agency, is needed. Okay, so it's good for you to understand and to know when you're importing some goods and what CA got involved with those shipments, so you can prepare in advance. Okay, and I would like to move to the next page, the 26. Okay, here you see all the prohibited items. Okay, and there's a lot of prohibited items here. Okay, so like in Singapore, the chewing gum is prohibited unless they are for dental or Medicaid gums approval by the HSA again. Electronic cigarettes and cigarette lighter that's shaped like a revolver or pistols, they are banned. They are not allowed. Okay, also the endangered species and the byproducts. Okay, so this is all the items. Okay, and also the psychotic drugs and some kind of substance, they are not allowed. Okay, so please find out in the custom website on more the prohibited items for importation. Okay, so I'd like to move it again to a slide, the next slide. Okay. All right, so you can see, okay, this program, this diagram here to show you that what electronic tools we can help you, okay, to save, to save money, okay, and to have a smooth shipping experience. Okay, a start, you can see on the left hand side, and that FedEx Ship Manager, I mentioned it earlier. Okay, so you can check on the FedEx.com, okay, to check it out. So in this one, you can start, get the rate and transit time. Like I mentioned earlier, you can save time to prepare the shipment, information, the frequent use information. So just one click away and they will download or automatic download for you. And you can even schedule a pickup, without making a phone call. You can get the custom clearance documents with the airway bill, and also get the full visibility of your shipment status, okay, while you send out the packages. Okay, the second system we have is the FedEx Global Trade Manager. Okay, this program can enable you to manage duty and tax, the document preparation, as well as the destination information. Okay, this is a really useful tool. Okay, so, and please go check it out. Okay, and the third one I would like to mention is the FedEx Electronic Trade Documents, short for ETD. Okay, it's an automated shipping solution to allow you to submit your trade documents, like commercial invoice or some of the special documents, required documents. Okay, and also this is more environmental friendly. You don't have to print it out. Okay, it's everything onto the system, so you can save stop reduce paper waste. Okay, right. So while your shipments still in transit, the FedEx tracking can give you the control over your shipment, by helping you to stay informed, okay, and monitor your important shipments and where they are, throughout the whole journey, okay, and the the last but not least is the FedEx Delivery Manager International. This is I mentioned earlier, and this program can benefit you and also the consignees. Okay, so if they want to choose where and when they receive the package, so they can contact us, or we can contact them, give them an option, for them to do so. Okay, what it means, like, we can send you the message and ask you, do you want us to deliver, to your concierge, if you're not home, or should we, deliver, to certain, the different location. So we have the, flexibility. Okay, so please check it out. Okay, and in long term, it will save time and process, and also you can make a difference, in a crowd, in a market. Okay, so let's move on to the next page. Okay, so get to the end of the slides, and I would like to conclude my presentation, or my portion of presentation, with its key takeaway. Okay, so understand about the Brexit change. Okay, remember to register an EOR immediately. Okay, speak to your customer, understand their needs, and agree on the Inco terms. Okay, make sure that your customer in the EU and UK knows about the potential change, and also you can let them know about the postponed VAT accounting. Okay, and please talk to us, and we will with you every step of the way. Okay, and again, please visit the FedEx website if you want to find out more information. And remember to get a copy of this presentation, and the URL can be useful for your reference. Okay, I think that's all I have, for my portion of presentation. And back to you, Tiffany.
Okay, and thank you, Raymond. Thank you for the presentation. Now we'll quickly go ahead with the Q&A session. For those of you who would like to receive the presentation deck, please scan on the QR code right now showing on the screen, or click on the URL link that was displayed in the chat box to request for a copy of the presentation slides to be sent to you. Now, without further ado, we also like to welcome back Audrey and Raymond for the Q&A session. For Mr. Alex Liu, he'll be joining us as the moderator for the Q&A session as well. Now, if you have any questions for our speakers, please feel free to submit them by clicking on the Q&A button at the bottom of the screen and type in your questions. Do note that as we have limited time for the Q&A questions, we will not be able to answer all questions. Thus, we seek your kind understanding to it. But should you have any urgent questions, please feel free to contact FedEx Singapore directly with their contact details shown on the screen, or email SCCCI, and we will forward your inquiries to them too. So over to you, Alex.
Yep, thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Raymond and Audrey, for your presentation. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. So we do have quite a number of questions, and unfortunately, we do have limited time. So what we'll be doing is that we'll be combining the questions so that we are able to cover as much ground as possible. So on to the first question. Perhaps, Raymond, can you tell us more about the changes in the UK importation?
Yes. Okay. So we know that after the Brexit, the UK government implement the change, mainly on the tariff, global tariff, and the VAT. Okay. So then they apply, they actually, after they change it, it will implement on January 1st this year. Okay. With exception, applied to the subject of the trade agreements, of course. There are some changes for the UK import VAT rules, okay, but this is an update from the January 12th, and subject to be changed, okay, any further updates. And I would like to point out again, those are three major change, okay, but I can give you a little bit more information onto each change, okay. All right. So the low value consignment relief, it's the same, like I mentioned. They already implemented in January 1st, 2021 this year. Okay, which means that they will remove the de minimis value from the entry. I mean, from the shipments. Okay, which means that from now on, from 0 to 100, they have no free entries. All shipments are entitled for VAT. Put it this way. Okay, and second, the second point is the VAT on imports under 135 pounds. Okay, now we have to use the Inco Terms again, because the UK government said that the 135 pounds is a FOB value. That means they are not included the insurance, freight, or any tax onto it. Okay, so that means that there's a no VAT. They will not collect the VAT again at the border. Okay, and this is apply to the shippers who would like to import shipment under 135 pounds. Then they need to register with the UK government. Okay, so that's a little slightly different on this requirement. Okay, the seller outside the UK, okay, if they selling goods under 135 pounds to a private individual or the non-VAT registered business, okay, in UK, then they need to go to the UK government to register a number. Okay, so the seller will be responsible for the VAT. Okay, the second scenario is that the seller outside the UK is planning to sell goods under 135 pounds as well, but to a UK a VAT registered business. In that case, the UK VAT registered business, they can provide the VAT registration number. For the shipper, they can put it onto the invoice. I think invoice better. To the invoice, so the shipper, okay, so the foreign shipper do not need to pay or responsible for the VAT. Okay, so this rule does not apply to shipment for non-commercial items, which is like personal properties or gifts. That do not apply. Okay, that means they may have some exception for free entry. Okay, and but also this rule does not apply for any goods in consignment that is subject to excise duty. What it means, like if you are importing tobacco, alcohol, those excise duty commodities, okay, that will be excluded from this requirement as well. That means if you're selling something like that, that means you need to, you have a special treatment on this. Okay. And then, I'm sorry, the last items I want to mention is like the VAT over 135 pounds. Again, that will be applied to the postponed VAT accounting. Okay, but this only apply to the UK importer.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Raymond. So I think we move on to the next question. So perhaps you could hear from Audrey. Let me live the question so that everyone can have a view at it. So Audrey, I think one of the questions that we have from an anonymous attendee is, will a preferential tariff rate still apply to goods?
Right, thank you for the question. So a preferential tariff rate will apply if a country has a free trade agreement with the UK or is part of the generalized scheme of preferences. So in the case of Singapore, as I just mentioned, we have signed a Singapore-UK free trade agreement on 10th December last year. I would also suggest that, if you need more details, be sure to speak to us or stay to our Brexit information hub on our website.
Okay, thank you for that. So I think in continuing on to that question, Audrey, perhaps you could share with us how FedEx has been preparing for Brexit.
Yeah, sure. So we originally established a UK-focused Brexit team in September after the referendum. And then we lifted that up to European level in November 2017 due to the size and the scale of our operations and how our country networks in the air and on the road are all connected together across Europe. So our initial risk and opportunity analysis, we actually identified 5 key areas that we have taken forward in our planning. So the 5 key areas, which I have also touched on earlier on, is number 1 is the network and clearance, which covers our ground and our air networks along with our customs capability. 2, a customer work stream, which is focused on what we need to support and help our customers, that is yourselves. Number 3, data and solutions, which has looked at the impact on internal and external systems. And number 4, people. So we are a large employer in the UK with nearly 13,000 employees and 50,000 employees in Europe. So we need to ensure that they are supported through the change. And finally, the finance side, where the team have been focused on the impact to our import VAT and duty invoicing and deferment account. So the working group is also supported by our regulatory and public affairs team, who have also kept the business up to date on all official publications. So they are also part of our industry trade associations who have been engaging with the EU and UK departments actively. So you can tell that, in terms of preparing for the Brexit, we have actually covered all grounds.
All right, thank you so much for that, Audrey. And Raymond, so sorry, I hope you managed to get a quick break there. So I'll be combining 2 questions. I believe one of it is from Masna Rahman. He has a question, as an importer, we also need to register for an EORI number. I think he's referring as an importer from Singapore. And also at the same time, perhaps you could take on, if say I'm planning to export my product to the UK and Germany, do I then need to apply for a different EORI number?
Yes, you do. The UK EORI number will not be recognized in the EU. And also the EU EORI number will not be recognized in the UK as well. So once the Brexit, that means UK become individual countries. So it will require its own EORI. So I will recommend everyone to register for the EORI number as soon as possible. It only takes 10 minutes to apply, and the EORI number is free.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for that. I think we have time perhaps for one last question. Let me see. Sorry, there's just quite a number of questions here to go through. So I think perhaps Raymond, if you could share with us just a quick wrap up, on what tools are available to me as an importer and exporters.
The tools. Let's see. Okay. As I mentioned, we have different tools like the FedEx Ship Manager can help you to prepare your shipping documents, and also the ETD, okay, can help you to prepare also the documents electronically, okay. So and I think that I could not draw blanks right now, but please check on the FedEx.com website and you can get all that information. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe I can help Raymond a little bit here. So we have the Global Trade Manager that Raymond mentioned just now. So it offers a comprehensive resource for simplifying international shipping for our customers of all sizes and also levels of experience. So it's a web-based service, so it's available 24 hours a day to help you to complete your international paperwork requirements. And it also has this free Find International Documents tool, so you can locate and print import and export documentation for more than 220 countries. So the tool, very important, it will also help facilitate the customs clearance process. It also has this estimate duties and taxes tool that allows one to enter the shipment specific information and also calculate the estimated duties, taxes, and other fees that may be levied against your international shipment. So this is a tool that you can make use of, the Global Trade Manager.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Raymond and Audrey. So I guess now that's all the time we have for the questions. So if you do have any additional questions, please contact FedEx. Pass the time back to you, Tiffany. Thank you so much.
Okay, and thank you, Alex. Thank you so much for the moderating the whole sessions itself, and thank you everyone, especially a big thank you to Audrey, Raymond, and definitely once again Alex for the time and valuable sharing today. Now I understand that there's quite a number of participants has been also keying in your questions. As mentioned, FedEx will on their side, we will try to reply you via email for those who have posted your question as an anonymous. Now, for those of you who still have questions that want to find out more details about your shipping, how to go about, feel free to contact FedEx directly, with their contact details that was featured on the screen later on. Now, we hope that you have benefited from the webinar session, as we look forward to seeing you again in our future events. So everyone, please stay safe and healthy, and thank you and goodbye. Thank you.